Hey, you know what Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Ken Shamrock, and Don Frye all have in common? They're professional wrestlers who were absolute beasts in MMA. You know MMA, that supposedly real stuff. Boom! I just thought I'd point that one out for you. You see, it's real insulting, in my opinion, to imply that what these athletes do is anything less than what it actually is. The toil they put their bodies through is unmatched, and the injuries are real. Wrestlers also have to be able to perform certain maneuvers with flawless precision and accuracy in order to create these epic and exciting feats of athleticism. And if they mess up, it can be bad. You see, wrestling moves are legit, and if you did one in a fight, you could seriously mess somebody up, or worse. Other moves, just by their nature, are inherently dangerous as well. The slightest mistake or botch can have some severe consequences. So keep that in mind next time you or some other idiot wants to go throwing around that F word. I'm Walt, the most gangster nerd on YouTube, and these are 10 of the most dangerous wrestling moves ever. Number 10, the shooting star press. It looks amazing, and it can go horribly wrong. Seeing a wrestler jump forward but flip backwards is awesome. The shooting star press was invented by Jushin Thunder Liger in New Japan. However, it's probably best remembered here in the United States as Billy Kidman's finish. The thing is there's no room to make a mistake with this move. Once a wrestler is in the air, the trajectory is set. If they're the slightest bit off, they can land anywhere. This is risky for the wrestler performing the move as well. If they don't rotate enough, they can come down on their head and neck at a horrifying angle like Brock Lesnar did. Now I know Hangman Adam Page does a running shooting star press, which is infinitely safer. However, the shooting star press off the top is as dangerous as it is awesome. Number 2, the diving headbutt. In professional wrestling, sometimes the more simple a move, the better. Unfortunately, when it comes to the flying headbutt, the rule is reversed. I mean, it's definitely simple. I'm just not convinced that it's actually better. Correctly executed, wrestlers climb to the top, jump through the air, and slam their heads and only their heads into their opponents. And that's when the move connects. Keep in mind, all the times it didn't. The diving headbutt was pioneered by Harley Race back in the day. However, he stated several times that he wished he had never came up with the move. Daniel Bryan lost years of his career due to concussions that resulted from the move. Dynamite Kid was left wheelchair bound due to years of doing the same move. And let's not forget he who shall not be mentioned. According to an actual doctor, his brain was like that of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient. Why? Years of compiled concussions which came from diving headbutts. Modern wrestling pariah Lars Sullivan was even using the diving headbutt. Does he strike you as normal? Yeah, me neither. Number 8, the Alabama Slam. It's like using your opponent as a sledgehammer. Throw your opponent over your back, swing them over your body, and slam them back first on the mat. Simple, except there's this thing on top of your shoulders called your head. In wrestling, wrestlers are trained to tuck their chin, to land on their back to absorb impact. But when you slam a body like this, the head comes too. With this much rotation, and even if you tuck the chin, you still risk the head and neck snapping back, which can bounce the head off the mat like a basketball, possibly cracking your skull, breaking your neck, or even worse, ricocheting your brain around inside your head, which I know you don't want. Number 7, the Dragon Screw Neck Whip. Keiji Muto is a legend. He is an innovator, a megastar, and probably one of the most evil people ever. Behold the Dragon Screw Neck Whip. You start off with a DDT, then you crank it up to 10, and you elevate your opponent, not on the second rope like Pyromaniac Randy Orton. No, Japan thinks that is adorable, but you actually rest them on the third rope, then planting them with a DDT from this height, which would seem good enough. But we are talking about a move developed by Keiji Muto. Not only do you bring the brain bucket down squarely on top, but you also twist the head and neck while doing it. Why? Because why not? Number 6, the Victory Star Drop. Japan, you really scare me sometimes. But your women's wrestling may just scare me even more. You start this move off with the opponent on the top turnbuckle, hooked up belly to back. You then hook your legs under their arms, then perform a body scissors backflip, bringing the opponent down squarely on the head, shoulders, and neck with a lot of force. Seriously, I don't know how somebody has not died because of this move. Number 5, the Emerald Floazon. Behold the Power Slam. And then let Mitsuharu Misawa get a hold of it. And then it becomes a power slam on steroids. Mitsuharu Misawa would yoke a wrestler up, throw him over his shoulder, and get him into the power slam position. This is incredibly standard. What made this move so incredibly dangerous was the sudden drop to the side. You see, if you don't tuck the opponent's head before you drop down, you literally drive them into the ground like a railroad spike, which cannot possibly be good for that whole neck and spine region. John Cena did perform a safer version of this against CM Punk, but when you look at it, it's more of a power slam. Number 4, the Kodome Valentine. Like a lot of other moves on this list, the danger is in the head and neck coming down in the wrong way. What makes that an almost certainty with this move is the fact that the wrestler applying the move is totally blind to the wrestler taking the move. They have no idea how they're going to land. But what would you expect from a move as crazy sounding as a double underhook, back-to-back, pile driver? A regular pile driver is dangerous enough when done wrong. Japan, though, just cranks it up to full nut house by doing this crazy move behind them. Number 3, Tiger Driver 91. Do you really need me to explain how this is dangerous? Number 2, the Burning Hammer. The Burning Hammer was invented by Japanese wrestling wizard Kenta Kobashi, and it is part of the overall magic that was 90s All Japan Pro Wrestling. This move starts off with an Argentina backbreaker rack, or a torture rack to us Americans. You then go from that to the inverted Death Valley driver. It is totally believable. The move is legitimately so dangerous, Kenta only broke it out 7 times. And of those 7 times, 3 times were against fellow wrestling wizard Mitsuharu Misawa. There is zero room for error when it comes to the Burning Hammer. This is the reason Kenta very rarely broke it out. The uninformed will attempt to point out imitations like the Tyler Rex version, which really isn't a Burning Hammer at all, as opposed to Brian Kendrick's almost flawless version, or Michael Elgin's almost seamless version of the Burning Hammer. An interesting bit of information though, who took those Burning Hammers? Well, the first was Kota Ibushi, and the other was Naomichi Marufuji. You truly need to be a master just to even be involved in this move. Number 1, the off the top rope double foot chest stomp. Low Key calls it the Ghetto Stomp and the Warrior's Way. Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, likes to call it the coup de grace. Alberto Del Rio used to do it, and Angelico still does do it. Sanjay Dutt really cranked things up by putting it on the end of a moonsault. This move is the proof that you have to be absolutely insane in order to become a really good professional wrestler. Shinsuke Nakamura once remarked taking the move is like being stabbed in the chest, and that's when the move is actually done correctly. Wrestlers have to take care to put no weight or pressure behind this move while at the same time making it look like it absolutely kills you. Keep that in mind because when done incorrectly, this move can make a wrestling match into a snuff film really quick. And that's the list. Now, is there a single doubt in your mind as to whether I'm right or not? Didn't think so. But if you want to tell me something good, do it in the comments because I want to read it. I'm Walt, the most gangster nerd on YouTube. Hey, do me a favor. Check out my show, The Sauce, where I review the wrestling shows so you don't have to. And I'll be seeing you soon.